Welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing the last element under five finance principles to securing your wealth. And we are going to be establishing a simple budget for better understanding. So we are going to be using two methods of tracking our expenditure, hence establishing savings. First of all, we would do the manual tracking, first using Excel, then using an application, and we'll employ the 50-30-20 rule using Excel. So this is an example of a simple budget here. Someone whose expenditure is well outlined with an income of 7,012 US dollars. We estimated what his expenditure would look like, and they are well outlined as you can see. We assume here that at the end of the month, when we subtract the expenditure from what is left, we are going to have a balance. We are hoping that this balance could be moved to savings depending on the objective that was set at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the year. So we have a total expenditure of $5,117, leaving us with a balance of $1,895 US. So this is a first exhibit for a very simple budget. If you have any questions, please don't forget to drop them in the comment section. So the next style would employ would be the 50-30-20 rule. This is a very easy way of setting up a budget because you just take your income and multiply it by the percentages, and you would spend in the range with you which you have before you. Sorry, there was an error here. That's supposed to be 20%, not 10. So you're spending your money within the range you have before you if you're using the percentage method. But I would prefer the manual tracking method because you have the possibility of saving more money if you have to. But with the 50-30-20, you might spend more money just because you want to follow the rule, and you may not have the discipline enough to save whatever balance is left. But however, the lesson here is you really need to be disciplined to make your saving lifestyle very effective. Moving forward to tracking by using applications. So there are several applications under the finance category, Play Store or Apple Store. You just need to study any of them, and whichever one you understand, you could employ. For the sake of this video, I would be using this finance application. I've used several of them, and I can say this one is really cool. It has several features. The Money Starts Budget Planner. So we are going to get into the application together, and we are going to discover the different options. So I already created categories for income and expenditure. So we'll just continue by adding the other categories that are absent for expenditure. So yeah, we'll adding utility, So basically, that's it. With all of these applications, they have the same format. You just add the categories which concern you. There are already icons which have been customized for you to understand where to put what and their meanings. And you set up the amount gradually. So, this is what it's going to look like when you set every value for every expense in their respective icons. They are going to look just like this. So as you start keying in your transactions, the reports or analysis are going to be automatically generated. I would prefer this method of tracking expenditure because it's easy. The work has already been done for you. Imagine you having an application in your phone and all you need to do is just type in the figure that corresponds to the expenditure. Unlike Excel, where you may have to come and set up the formulas by yourself, set up, yeah, there might be templates, but it's more complex than these ones that have already been built solely for the purpose to help you with your finances. So these are an example of transactions that have already been keyed in: groceries, telephone, and I'm adding the rent. For instance, this is the value for the month concerned. And after that, we are going to see how the summaries are being presented. I also love this application so much because it has the possibility of you setting your goal for the year. And when you set your goal for the year, it automatically schedules how much you will need to chip in over time until you get to where you want to. So this is the chart of percentages of what you've spent. So on this application, the goal is to travel to Dubai, and it already tells me what I need to save based on what I budgeted, and I make sure I keep the money aside separately. The benefits of using applications like this help you to do a proper reconciliation between the reality, what is in your bank statement, and what your predictions or expectations are. So if you should be keying a figure here that you intend to save, let's say $500 for this goal, you should make sure that the $500 represents itself in your accounts.